Sir, your screen is not shared till now.
Yeah, I'm sharing. I'm again sharing it.
Okay, sir. Set just by sharing entire screen.
Yeah, I will do that. I'm doing that only.
Good afternoon, students, and good afternoon, sir. Students, we have Rajni sir for our Microsoft session of now. We can start the session now. So you can continue the session.
All right. Very good evening, students, and welcome back. We were discussing about the draw. Data validation, different type of data validation rules. Okay. We also discussed about the dynamic drop downs, and now from the morning, if we can see what all things did we learn. Morning we uh, learned conditional formatting in depth. Okay, so many rules, so many custom rules and all we have done. Then we learned about the tables, structured referencing using the tables. Then we went on to data validation. Data validation, we also saw the dynamic drop downs and all. And we learned about the indirect function. Right. Now, now we are going to learn another feature in Excel. See, for example, I wanted to select all the cells which contain some or other formulas in this sheet. I wanted to select all the cells which contain some or other formulas in the worksheet. But I do not know where are all the formulas, which are all the cells which have given any formulas. I don't know that. There may be many cells. So manually locating those formula cells is not that practical. We might have hundreds of formulas in these cells, but manually locating it is not easy. So there is an option which Excel gives you where you can select the cells containing formulas. There is an automatic option for that. The name of that feature is Go To. Okay, Go To. The shortcut to get to that particular feature is Control G. There is a shortcut called Control G. Okay, when I press Control G, I got this Go To window enabled. From this, I can go to the special. Okay, click on that special button. Now you'll see that there are nodes, constants, formulas, blanks, current region, current array, so many things. So if you wanted to locate all those cells which contain some or other formulas, then you need to select this and click on OK. So whichever cells contains any formulas, those cells will be selected. See, these cells are selected. And when we come down, I think, yeah, when we come down, these cells are also selected. This is the easiest way to select. Now, if there is any formula outside also, even that also will be taken. Not only inside this data, whichever formulas, whichever cells in this worksheet have contained any formula, those cells will be selected automatically. In one single click, you can select. You can locate those cells which contain formulas. That is the Go To feature in Excel. Clear? Now, let us understand one practical example of this, using which we also would learn another feature in Excel, which is called security features in Excel. Okay, so this is the topic which we are going to take now, security features in Excel. We have three levels of security. we have three levels of security. First level is the file level security. First one is the file level security. Inside file level, there are two options. Either we can lock accessing the file itself. Either we can lock accessing the file, which means unauthorized person cannot even open the file. Okay, and the second one is we can lock modifications. Unauthorized persons cannot do any modifications. So we can do both things. We can give both these options. We can use both these options in the same file. Okay, see, for example, I am creating a password for locking the file. Password is 1234, and we are creating one more password to lock the modification, and that password is 5678. Let us assume that. Okay, so now whoever knows this password can open the file. Okay, and only if I know this password, I can do any modifications in that file. Hope it's clear. So there may be people whom we wanted to open that file. We are allowing them to open that file. They can see the contents, but all those people might not be given an authority to modify this file. In that case, we can set both the passwords and give only this password to those people. So they won't be able to do any modifications unless and until they know this modification password. Right? Now, second level is sheet level protection. I'm not locking the whole file. For example, I have 5 sheets in my workbook. I'm locking only one sheet. All the other sheets, anybody can do anything. But only one sheet which I have protected. Unauthorized persons cannot modify any cells in the sheet, in the protected sheet. That is sheet level protection. Third level is cell level protection. Cell level protection is unauthorized person cannot modify. Unauthorized person cannot modify the protected cells worksheet. So only a certain number of cells is getting locked, not all the cells. I'm not locking the entire sheet. I am not locking the entire cells, but I'm locking only some certain number of cells. And apart from this, we can protect the structural changes in the workbook. There is another security feature. It is totally a different security feature where we can lock structural changes. We can lock structural changes. Now, what is structural changes? Structural changes are, creating a new sheet or moving a sheet or renaming a sheet. All these are examples of structural changes. Okay, only this cannot be this can be locked. Only this structural changes can be locked. So that level is also available now in Excel. Let us learn this one by one. The first one, file level security. Okay. So here, how do we enable file level security? For that, you have to go to the file menu. Inside the file menu, click on the save as button and browse the location where you wanted to save this file. I'll put it in the desktop now. Okay, browse the location where you wanted to save this file. I'll rename this as protection. Putting this in the desktop and I am renaming this as protection. Now, here you will find something called tools. Click on this tool. Click on these tools. Then go to general options. Go to general options. Here we can give both the passwords. As we were discussing, we can give a password to open the file. We can give another password to modify the file also. So I'm giving 1, 2, 3, 4 the password here and 5, 6, 7, 8 as the modification password. And then I'll click on OK. Now this is asking me to re-enter the password. Now I need to give the password to open once again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now this is asking me to re-enter the password to modify. That is 5, 6, 7, 8. And click on OK. And click on save. That's all. Now we have locked this file. I am closing this file. I'm closing this file. Let me go to the desktop. Let me go to the desktop. And in the desktop, I have this file called protection. Click on this protection, double click on this protection. In this protection, this is asking me to, when I'm trying to open this file, it is asking me to give the password. So I'm giving 1, 2, 3, 4 as the password. I'm clicking on OK. Now this is asking me to give the modification password. But I don't know, imagine I don't know the modification password. I have been only given with the opening password. So in that case, I have only an option to click on read only. Okay, this is the only option available with me in this case. Click on read only. Now the file is opened. I can view the contents of the file and I can even make any changes also. So example, I am adding one sentence, one phrase here. But I did not give any modification password, right? Then how am I able to modify? I am changing the value. Okay, I am changing the value. All these things are possible. Then why is this called as I'm not able to? Why is this? There is a modification password then. This means that, see, if you can see here, this is not fully visible. On top of the window, you'll see something called read only. This file has been opened as a read only file only. What does that mean? Whatever changes I am making to this that changes I cannot save in this file called protection. This file called protection is locked. You make any changes, but if I'm trying to save, I'm pressing Control save. Okay, I'll click on this save button. I am getting an error. We can't save protection because the file is read only. To keep your changes, you will need to save the workbook with a new name or in a different location. So how can I save this? How can I save these changes? I cannot save the changes in the protection workbook. Okay, this is the protection workbook which I have given the name. I have given this name as protection. Okay, I cannot save these changes in the same file. Either you can create a new file with a new name. I can give the name as protection1 and save these changes. It's okay. but that original file cannot be touched. Original file cannot be touched. You make a copy of this file, do any changes, we don't bother. We don't bother. But the same original file, you won't be able to make any change. That is called that is where the modification password comes into place. Now I close this again. Don't save. Okay, now I'll open this file again. I'll give 1, 2, 3, 4 as the password. Okay, and I'm giving 5, 6, 7, 8 as the modification password also. And I'm clicking on OK. Now this file is not read-only. This file is not read-only. Whatever changes I am making to this file, see now that hello world, this 158, nothing has been saved in that file. So now I can make any changes and I can save. And I can save without any problem. This file is saved. So to make any changes in the original file, the user needs to have modification password. Otherwise, they can only see the items, and if they wanted to make any changes, they can save it in a totally different file. Original file cannot be touched. So that is file level protection. That is file level security. Right? Now, let us learn about this sheet level protection. Imagine I have 2, 3 sheets. Okay, I have food sales, I have sheet 1, I have sheet 2. Now I wanted to log this food sales. Okay, the users, unauthorized users can only see this data. They cannot even touch. They cannot even enter any data, edit any data. Okay, that kind of locking we are going to do. How do we do that? We'll go to the review tab. Okay, open that sheet which you wanted to lock and click on the review button and click on protect sheet. Inside the protect sheet, give a password 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now here we are allowing access to the unauthorized users to select the locked cells and to select unlocked cells. That's all. They cannot do format cells. They cannot do format columns. They cannot do format rows. Nothing. All these are disabled for unauthorized users, those who doesn't have a password. Okay, only these 2 options I have given. Select the locked cells and select the unlocked cells. That's all. Now I'll click on OK. It is asking me to re-enter that password 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm clicking on OK. Now I'm trying to type something. I'm trying to type something. I'm getting an error. I am trying to double click on this. I'm getting an error. So you can see this value. You can see all the values, but you are not authorized to edit any cells in this sheet. The whole sheet is being protected. Any sheet, come here, try something. No, all the sheets, across all the sheets in this, across all the cells in this sheet is protected. But go to this sheet, I am able to add anything. I am able to edit. But food sales, this sheet is fully protected. Is that clear? So this is the sheet level protection. Now, how do I unprotect this sheet? How do I give the, how do I open this for editing? Go to the review tab. Now protect sheet would have changed to unprotect sheet automatically. I'll click on unprotect sheet. I'll give the password and I'll click on OK. Now this is open for editing. I can make any changes. But here one thing which you have to understand is Once you unprotect the sheet, that password is deleted. Okay. Once you unprotect the sheet, the password is deleted. Now, if you want to lock the sheet again, you have to go to the review tab, again protect sheet. Here I can give you a different password and set the protection. Clear? So once you unprotect the sheet, the password is deleted. The password that store parts, the data of the password will be deleted. Now, next level of the protection security is cell level protection. Okay, let us assume in this case I want to lock these cells wherever I have formulas. I just wanted to lock all those cells which is containing some or other formulas. Clear? Other cells I can do anything. Other cells any unauthorized user can edit, not a problem. But they are not authorized to even touch this. They cannot even select it. I don't want them to even select it, because selecting this they'll get understand what is the formula. I don't want them to understand what is the formula. Okay, formula is hidden. I want to hide the formula also. Okay, only if they select it, they will be able to see the formula here, right? If they are not even able to select this cell, they can't see this formula also. So which are all the cells? Which are all the cells which I wanted to protect? Only those cells which contain formulas. Now this particular cell protection is having maybe 10-12 steps. So I want you to attend to this fully. Do not do this along with me. Just make a note. Otherwise, you might lose the flow. Okay, because this is having 10-12 steps to complete. So just make notes. Do not do with me and attend with complete focus here. First step. Step number 1 is select all the cells in this worksheet. Not only this data, all the worksheet, all the cells in this worksheet. How do I select? What is the easiest method to select all cells? Here you have a corner button, right? There is a triangle. There is a small triangle. Okay. Click on that corner button. Now all the cells in this worksheet has been selected. Okay, that is the step number 1. Now Control 1 keyboard, in the keyboard press Control 1. From the keyboard press Control 1. Now go to the protection tab. You will find a number, alignment, font, border, fill and protection. Go to the protection tab. Okay. The locked option will be enabled here. Disable that option. Remove this tick mark. Disable this option. And click on OK. So select all the data. Select whole cells. Control 1. Go to protection. Disable locked. Now, next step. Select those cells which you wanted to lock. Which cells do we want to lock in this case? I want to lock only those cells which contains any formulas. So what is the easiest method to select those cells which is containing formulas? We have learned it just now, right? There is an option called Control G, Special, and click on Formulas and click on OK. This way, I have selected all the cells which contain formulas. These cells are selected. These cells are selected. Now these are the cells I wanted to lock. That is why I have selected. So either you can manually select some cells. For example, I can select these cells and I can ask them not to touch it. I can restrict editing in these cells. It need not be a cell in formulas, but in our case, I am just taking an example. Okay, that I wanted to lock the cells which contain formulas. That is only an example. Okay, you can lock any cells. It need not have any formulas. Okay, do not think that when I am selecting the formulas, only formula cells can be locked. Nothing like that. Any cells in these worksheets can be locked. Okay, but in this case, I am selecting formula cells. So Control G, special, formulas, and OK. Now I have got all the cells selected where there is a formula. Now, next step. Again, press Ctrl 1. Once you select the cells which you wanted to lock, again press Ctrl 1. Go to the Protection tab. Enable the locked. Enable the lock. Okay. This was disabled. Now enable the lock. I'll click on OK. Fine. Now, next step. Next step, go to the Review tab, click on Protection Sheet, give a password, repeat the steps which we had done for protecting a sheet. Repeat the steps which we had done for protecting a sheet. Disable select locked cells. Okay, disable select locked cells and click on OK. Re-enter the password 1234 and I'll click on OK. Now I am trying to select this cell. I am trying to select this cell. I am not even able to select this cell. I am not even able to select this cell. These cells are locked and even these cells on the bottom. These cells are also locked. Those cells we cannot even select. Those cells we cannot even select. Okay. I will show these steps once again. Since this is a long process, I will show this once again so that it is clear for you. After this, you must do this on your own. Okay, you must try this on your own. Then if you have any doubts, you can come back. Okay, please attend to this. I'm not going to repeat this third time. Okay, only 2 times I will tell. This is the second time I am going to tell, and this is the last time I am going to explain this process. Step number 1. Select all the cells in the sheet by clicking on this corner button. Control 1. Go to the protection. Disable the locked. Disable the locked. Click on OK. Now select only those cells which you wanted to lock. In this case, I am going to lock only cells containing formulas. To select cells containing formulas, I'll press Ctrl G, go to Special, Formulas and OK. Now again Control 1. Enable the locked and click on OK. Next step, go to the Protect sheet under the Review tab. Type 1234 as the password. Disable select locked cells. If you don't want the unauthorized users to even touch this cell, remove this select locked cells option and click on OK. Re-enter the password. Click on OK. That's all. Now these cells are not even be able to be touched. Only the other cells we can touch. So this is how we lock certain cells in Excel. Selected cells in Excel. I'll unprotect this. Okay. So cell level protection is also over. Now let us also see how to protect structural changes in the workbook. For that, again review tab, go to the protect workbook option. Okay. In this field, give a password 1234 and click on OK. Re-enter the password 1234. OK. When you log the structural changes, you can edit the cells. That is not a problem. You can do any editing on the cells. That's not a problem. But you cannot rename this sheet. See, I am trying to rename. I am trying to double click. I am trying to right click. Okay. This move or copy is disabled. See, rename is disabled. Delete is disabled. Insert is disabled. So I cannot insert a sheet. I cannot move a sheet. I cannot rename a sheet. Nothing can be done. Okay, we cannot even add a new sheet. See, this plus button is also disabled. So that is what happens when we lock the structural changes in the workbook. Now I'm pausing it here. If you have any doubts pertaining to this protection, you can ask. You can ask specific doubts if you have.
I think, sir, still now we didn't get any questions. Might be
See,
clear for
that's,
them.
I want you to respond. If you are clear with this concept, you can put clear only, clear message in the
Okay,
so
dear
that
student,
we
if the
also will
doubt is
understand.
clear, just drop a message that clear.
Yeah. Otherwise, we won't understand whether you are able to understand this or not. You are also in the same line.
So got a message that got it, sir. Thank you.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. Understood. Thank you. Clear. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Understood well. Clear.
I think we can continue with the next topic, sir.
Yeah. Just give me a moment.
Student, don't worry. Still now, screen has not been set yet.
Yeah,
It will
yeah.
be set. Just wait.
I'll be sharing it. I'll be sharing it. Just now I'll be sharing it.
Sir, right now only one question someone has asked. Sir, if
Ah,
we forget our password, means how to unlock then worksheet?
no, there is no option. Okay, I forgot to mention that there is no option for forget password here. It is not like your Gmail. You won't be able to you won't be able to unlock that sheet. See, in that case, there is one trick which we can use. We can click on the save as button and duplicate this file. In the new file, you can do these changes. Then this protection will go off. I think that is the only option. All right. Now, imagine when you are working with, when you are working as a CMA and all, most of the time you might be getting files in the PDF format. It might be a downloaded statement from a bank. It can be a report from, from an ERP system. Those reports and those statements you might be getting in the PDF format. Now you wanted to get this data to the Excel file. You cannot directly copy this. Okay, sometimes it will work. Let me try. Okay, not every time it will work. Any which ways. Okay, I am trying to copy this. I am selecting a new sheet. I am trying to paste it here. How did I get it? I did not get it in a tabular format in Excel, right? This was a tabular format. This was a tabular format, but here I did not get it in a tabular format. So there is a process in which you have to follow when you wanted to add a data from a PDF file into Excel. You cannot just copy it and paste it in Excel. Sometimes it will work, but most of the time it will not work properly. Right? So we are going to learn what is the process of getting a data from a PDF file into the Excel file. Now, first step here is select the sheet where you wanted the data to be imported. Select the data where you wanted the data to be imported. Now, go to the data tab. Go to the data tab. Here you have an option called get data. Okay, you have an option called get data. Now, one more thing. Okay, I think this file is protected. That is why I am not able to. Let me open another file. Okay, I'll open up a new Excel file. I will open up a new Excel file where I'm going to import the PDF file, the table from the PDF file. All right, this is where I'm going to add my PDF file. So I'll go to the data and click on get data. Okay, a word of caution here. The process which I am trying to explain to you is with the Office 365, Office 2019 and above. Older version have a different process. Okay, older versions will have a different process. Unfortunately I won't be able to show that process because I don't have that version with me. Right? Okay. So data, get to data and click on from file. Inside from file, again, there are different options. Out of that, one option is from PDF. So our data is currently in a PDF file. So click on PDF. So get data from file PDF. Okay. Inside this, go to the desktop. Okay. Where we have saved this PDF file. So browse to the location where we have that PDF file. Now for me, my PDF file is in the desktop. I'll click on this PDF file. This is the PDF file I'm trying to import. I'll click on sample PDF and click on import. It will take some time. To get to the next step. It's connecting to that file. Okay, so here, let me click on this page. Yeah, this is the page. I have that data. Okay, so just select that page and click on transform data. Okay, click on transform data. You can also load it directly, but that may have some errors. So that is why I'm asking you to go to transform data. Click on transform data. When you click on transform data, you will be taken to another tool called Power Query Editor. There is something called Power Query, and to do transformations, we have a tool called Power Query Editor. We'll be taken to that Power Query Editor. Inside the Power Query Editor, you will find all the data here. You'll find all the data here. Okay. Now, sometimes you might not get the column headings like this. You might be getting it like this: column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, like that. And this heading will be a part of the data. This will be considered as a part of the data. Sometimes it will be like that. You won't get the heading properly as a heading. Instead, we will have column 1, column 2, column 3 as the headings. I don't want that. I wanted this particular row to be promoted as headers. This particular row has to be promoted as headers, promoted to headers. How do we do that? When inside this Power Query Editor, in the Home tab, you will have something called Use First Row as Headers. Inside the Home tab, you will have an option called Use First Row as Headers. Click on Use First Row as Headers. Now you will see that all the headings, the first row, whatever is there in the first row, has been promoted to headers. When should we do this step? Only if you are seeing column 1, column 2, column 3 there. If you are getting correct heading here, you don't have to do this step. If you are getting the correct step, don't do this step. Correct heading. If you are getting the correct heading, don't do this step. Clear? So, what is Power Query Editor? I'll just give you a brief explanation of Power Query Editor. Sometimes you will have to, this Power Query Editor is actually connected to Power BI. Okay, it's a part of the Power BI, the flow. So before we take the data to the reports, the visualizations and all, sometimes we will have to clean up the data. Okay, Power Query Editor will help you to clean up the data. By doing so many transformations, we can clean up the data. We can do so many transformations, so many things inside the data. We can manage the whole data, and then after this cleaned up data can be taken to the visualization so that you get the reports in the correct order. That is why we have something called Power Query Editor, completely connected to Power BI. You don't have to bother about that. Okay, you just have to learn this technique, only this technique for the time being. Okay, now once this is done, you can click here, close and load. Click on close and load, this arrow mark, and click close and load to. Select the close and load to. Remember, do not click on this icon. Do not click on this icon directly. You should close and load. You should click on this small arrow mark where you will find two options. Out of that, click on close and load to. Click on close and load to. Okay. Now from here, you must specify where do you want the data. So I'll select existing worksheet because I wanted this in this worksheet only, and click on this cell because I want the data to be populated starting from A1 of this sheet. I want to get the data populated starting from A1 cell in the sheet 1. Now I'll click on OK. Now you will see that data getting imported. That PDF data, that table which was there in the PDF file is getting imported to our Excel file in the correct table format. This is how you get the data. If you want me to explain this once again, because this is very important for you. Most of the time you will be getting data from outside sources. So you should learn, you should be able to get the data to the Excel in the proper format. In that case, in all those cases, you can use this feature. I'll show this once again with the same data. I'll go to the data. I'll click on get data from file. Inside from file, click on from PDF. Browse. Browse to that particular folder location and locate that file. Click on that file, click on import. Click on import. Now from this, select this page. Select this page. Okay, or even you can select this table also, both are same. You can select the page or select the table. Click on transform data. Click on transform data. Clicking on the transform data button will take you to the Power Query Editor. Inside the Power Query Editor, the first and foremost thing which you have to check is whether your headings are proper, whether you are getting column 1, column 2 as the heading. If you are getting column 1, column 2 as the headings, click on use first row as headers from the home tab only. Then you will get the correct headings. Proper headings you will get. Once you get these headings properly, you can click on this small arrow mark near to the close and load and select close and load to. Select close and load to, and here you can choose existing worksheet. You can either choose a new worksheet which will open up a new worksheet and get the data inside that worksheet. But in our case, I'm trying to add the data to this sheet 2. Once you select the existing worksheet, you also have to select this cell. Okay, you also have to select the cell from where you want the data to be populated. Then I'll click on OK. It's getting the data. And I am getting the data here. you can ask any doubts pertaining to this get data. How to import from JSON file? You can choose, only thing is that you have to choose that source. From file, no, inside from file we have an option called JSON file. No doubts? If it's clear? Yeah. Thank you so much, Rahini. Please put a clear message if it's clear. Otherwise, you can ask doubts. And follow the same procedure. I can see only that question. I'm not able to. I'm not able to connect which question. Clear. Thank you. Thank you. Clear. One more question. Okay, it's not question. Clear, sir. All right. Now let us move on to the next topic. Let me see what is the next topic. All right. Let me. I am opening the next file. Please, please wait for a moment. Excellent. I think. I'm sharing another file. Okay, so I'm sharing another file. All right. Now, this is a spa. Okay, this is the data for a spa. I have all the data here. Okay, where I have what are all the services which I have offered for each day, and who is the stylist name, what is the payment mode which the customer have paid, and what is the amount which I have collected. Okay, this data I have, and above that I have a report. I have a report format. Now we are asked to, one second, some alignment issue is coming. Okay, so we are asked to make a report on this format. Here, we need to get how many times total, which means how many times somebody have asked for this service called shaving. Okay, how many times somebody, the customers have asked for this particular service. How do I get it? I can just put COUNTIF. Okay, inside the COUNTIF, this is the range. This is the range where I wanted to search, and second parameter I will give this as the criteria. Shaving is my criteria. I will get a count. 71 times we have given this particular service. Clear? Now next, I wanted to get the total price only for shaving. What is the function which we can use? We have already learned that function. What is the function? Is equal to SUMIF. Is equal to SUMIF. Okay. Here this is the range. Okay. This is the range which I wanted to see the criteria for. What is the criteria? Criteria is this, comma. From where do we need the sum from? I need the sum from this particular column. Okay, this one you know, SUMIF function you are completely aware. We have learned this in and out, so I'm not explaining this function at all again. Okay, I'll close the bracket and I press enter. I'm getting the total price. Total price only for the shaving service. Okay, now next question is how many times by cash? So for shaving, how many times customer have paid by cash? The problem here is I have the service in this column and I have the payment mode in this column. So I wanted to count only those rows where service is shaving and payment is cash. This row I will not count because this is shaving, but payment mode is credit card. This row will not be counted. But this row will be counted. Shaving, service is shaving and payment is cash. Service is shaving, payment is cash. Okay. So I wanted to know how many instances are there, how many rows are there where service is shaving and payment is equal to cash. So two criteria I need to check here. I need to check multiple criteria here. In this case, I was only looking for one criteria. I was looking only in this particular column. Okay, but in this case, I must check for multiple criteria. How do I check for multiple criteria? For that, we have a function called COUNTIFS. Okay, again, COUNTIFS function is only available in the latest version of Excel. I mean, Office 365 or above. Older version will not have COUNTIFS function. Okay. Inside the COUNTIFS function, we need to give the first column where we need to check the criteria from. Which is the first column? This is my first column. I will select this column. From this particular column, what do we need to check? From this particular column, I need to check shaving. Sorry. From this column, I need to check shaving. So that is the criteria. So this is the criteria range 1 and this is my criteria 1. Now second criteria, again I need to select the criteria range 2. Second criteria range I need to select. What is my second criteria range? This is my second criteria range. Okay, comma. In double quotes, I'll put cash. Double quotes, I'll put cash because this is my criteria 2. So criteria range 1, criteria 1, criteria range 2, criteria 2. Right? I have only 2 criteria, sir, here. If you have multiple criteria again, you can put it comma. You can separate it by comma. I can add more criteria in this function. That is okay. But in our case, I just need to check only 2 criteria. I close the bracket and press enter. I have got the answer as 42. 42 rows are there where service is shaving and payment is cash. How many times my credit card? Same thing is equal to COUNTIFS. COUNTIFS. First criteria range is this because from here I need to select for the shaving. I'll put it in double quotes in this time. Shaving, comma. Second criteria range is payment range. So I'll select this range. I'll select this range, comma, and here I'll put credit card. Bracket close, enter. I'm getting 29 answers. If you total these two, you should get 71. You should get 71. Yeah, it is 71. Now, next one. Total price by cash. Here I don't want the count. I am not asking for the count. I am asking for the total value. Okay, I am asking for the total value of the price column where service is shaving and payment is cash. I am asking for the total price. I am asking for the sum of the price. I am asking for the sum of the price where service is shaving and payment is cash. Here again, I cannot use SUMIF because SUMIF can only handle one criteria. SUMIF can only handle one criteria. I cannot have more criteria in SUMIF. But new version of Excel have given you another function called SUMIFS, where I can have multiple criteria. In SUMIFS function, the first parameter is the sum range. Unlike SUMIF function, SUMIF function, the sum range was the last parameter, right? But here, the first thing which we need to give is sum range. So I will select the range because this is where I want the sum from. Okay, now we'll put a comma. Now, what is the criteria range 1? What is the criteria range 1? This is my criteria range 1. What is my criteria 1? Service, shaving. My criteria 1. What is my criteria range 2? My criteria, second criteria range is payment range. Okay, payment range. What is my criteria range to? I mean, what is my criteria to? It is cash. So here, sum range is the first parameter, then first criteria range, first criteria. Second criteria range, second criteria. Like that, you can add any more number of criterias. Close the bracket, enter. I am getting a value here. So this is SUMIFS function. So COUNTIFS and SUMIFS allow you to have multiple criteria in that formula. Similarly, we have average FS also. Exact, just like SUMIFS, we have the average FS also. So now we have learned 3 new functions: COUNTIFS, SUMIFS, and average FS. Pausing it here. Open for the questions.
Student has written understood, sir.
Okay, I've seen that.
Sir, I have one doubt. Like, Radesh Kutty sir is your sir brother or something like, because your voice is totally similar to him.
Who's
Radesh Kutty sir?
I didn't get that name. Who is that?
I think from same where you are from, which company, na? The same sir was there, Radesh Kutty sir.
Radish, no?
Radesh Kutty sir.
Rakesh. Rakesh. No, he's not my brother.
No sir, not Rakesh. Radesh Kutty sir.
Rajesh Kutty. I don't know him.
Okay, sir. Actually, I thought your voice is totally similar. Previously was there, sir, who used to take the classes of CMAs.
Oh,
from
is
your
that so?
company side?
I know, from Actividu, no?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. No, I am not related to him.
Okay, sir. I think, sir, there is still now no question has been raised. Like only one question has said cleared. We can continue with the topic if we can.
All right. Okay. Again, we will complete one more topic and call it a day. Because as I told you, too much of content, you won't be able to practice. You are not going to practice it. And it will be a waste of the effort. Anyone have older version of Excel? Then what to do? Then there is, then it's a long process to get the SUMIF. It's a very long process. You have to do it logically. Can you please explain SUMIF function? SUMIF function was already explained in my day 1, day 2 class. Yesterday we had learned about the SUMIF function. I think you were not in the class yesterday. Okay. Let me open up another file. Okay, for this I'll take in new Excel sheet. Please give me a moment. Somebody was asking me about the time related functions in Excel. So we are going to learn some time related calculations in Excel. Okay, how do we deal with the time values in Excel? That's what we are going to learn now. Okay, the first and foremost function in terms of time calculations is there is a function called now, and for the now function there is no attributes, just like today function only. There is no attributes for the now function. You can just open the bracket and close the bracket, nothing inside that. Press enter. I am getting both the current date and the current time according to my system. Okay, now I don't want the date to be displayed, only time is to be displayed. Unfortunately, there is no function to fetch only the time, but we can do a small manipulation in this particular cell where date can be hidden. We can hide the date and show only the time. What is that? Press Ctrl 1, which is format cells. Go to this number tab. Okay, go to this number tab and click on custom. And click on custom, where you will have an option called HH:MM. HH stands for hour, MM stands for minute. Okay, I'll click on OK. Now I've got the date hidden. Only the time is displayed. Okay, one more thing I am going to do. I am going to select this one, HH:MM SS. HH stands for hour, MM stands for minute, and SS stands for seconds. Yeah. Okay. See, you can also see whenever I am changing any other cell and pressing enter, my timing is getting updated automatically. My timing is getting automatically updated. Okay. Now, let us learn another function here called hour function. Hour function, inside our function, you can specify a time. Okay. It will extract the hour part. The hour part will be extracted and will be returned. That is the hour function. Hour part from the time value will be extracted and returned. Then you have function called minute. Inside the minute we are passing on a time as the attribute. So this is the minute part of this particular time. Is equal to second. Then next function is second. Inside the second, again we are giving the time as the attribute. Press enter. The second will be, the second part will be extracted. This is how you separate these values. You can separate these values in different cells using these functions. Now, imagine you are getting separated values already, but you wanted to change it to a valid time format. In that case, you can use a function called time. Inside the time, first parameter is the hour. We have the hour here. minute and second. Okay. But notice the change. Here it was 16, here it is 4 p.m. So we can have either 24-hour format like this, or we can show 12-hour format so that we get AM and PM. How do we change this value to a 12-hour format? Like this. I wanted to change it to a 12-hour format like this. I'll select the cell, Control 1, and here you have an option called HMM AM PM. This option, H:MM and then AM/PM. Click on that. Now I am getting it this in the 12-hour format. Right. So we have learned 4 functions here now. And there are no much functions in Excel. All the other things which we are going to discuss here now is different type of calculations based on the time value. Functions are not there, but we are going to use formulas to calculate, to perform different type of calculations in terms of time values, using the time values. Okay. I have a value 8 AM here. Okay. What is the correct format of writing a time value in Excel? It should be 8:00. This is not a correct format. 8.00 AM is not a correct format. This is not considered as a time function, time value in Excel. Okay, this is not considered as a proper time value in Excel. This is only a number. Even if you are putting 8.00, this is only a number, not a time. Not a time. Okay, so that also you need to understand. Now, I wanted to add 3 hours to this time. I wanted to add 3 hours to this time. Now I'll put 3 here. I'll try to add these values 8 AM plus 3. I'll get 8 AM only. I'll get 8 AM only. But actually I had to get 11 AM, right? The answer should have been 11 AM. Why am I not getting this answer properly? Because this is in a time format and this is in a number format. Both the formats are different. That is why I am not able to get a proper calculation in this. Right now, what is the solution? We have 3 different solutions for this. Okay, one solution is that you can change this to a valid time format 3:00. Now this is a valid time format. Now this is not a number, this is a valid time format. Now I'll add this plus this. I am getting the answer. This is one way of doing it. Okay. Now, let us have the same example. Let us assume okay, let me change this to the number. Let us assume I am having this in the number format only. Okay, I am not able to change this. In that case, you can use the same thing, this plus, and you can use this number, but by dividing it by 24. You must divide this value by 24. Then we will get the answer correctly. Just hold on. Please hold on. I'm back. So hope you have understood this. Okay. So two different solutions. Sorry, I mentioned three different solutions. No, it is only two different solutions to this. Either you can change this value to a valid time format, or you can have this in the number format only. But when you are calculating, you have to divide that number by 24. Only then this will be converted to a number, to a time. That way we can add the duration. Right. Now, let us assume, okay, let us assume we have a table. Okay, this is a table for an employee with their working hours. So on Monday, so I'll have Monday till Friday here, and start time and end time, and I need to calculate the duration. Need to calculate the duration. Okay, start time is 9 AM, end time is 5 PM. Same thing. Okay. Same thing I am copying here. Every day, 9 AM is the starting time and 5 PM is the ending time. Now I wanted to know the duration. What is the duration between these time? I can easily put a formula, this minus this, end time minus start time. Press enter. I am getting 8 AM here. Let us remove this AM, control 1, and let us remove this AM. I just need HHMM format. Okay, fine. Now I'll drag this. Now I wanted to get what is his total working hours for this week. How do I do it? I can easily use the function called sum. Okay, sum function, and we can add these cells together and press enter. But I am getting 16. Is 16 a correct answer? 16 is not a correct answer. Actually, this is 40 hours, right? 5 days into 8 hours is 40 hours. I should have got 40 hours here, but I'm only getting 16 here. So we can correct this by doing a small tweak. How do we correct it? Select the cell, again control 1. Okay, inside the custom tab, you will have an option called where is that option? I think this is the option. Is that option available in this? No. Custom. Some options has been changed, I think, but it's okay. Fine. I'll take the, where is that option? Which I selected now. Yeah, I'll take this one. If you can't read this properly, I will put it in the notepad also. The option which we need to select here is, there is an option called H inside the square bracket, colon, colon, SS. Like this, there is an option. Okay, there is an option like this. This is the option we need to select from here. This is the option. And I'll click on OK. Now I'm getting 40 hours. So this is a small tweak you need to do to get the sum correctly. Right? Now another scenario. Imagine this guy had taken a night duty on Friday, where he had logged in at 9 p.m. and logged out at 3 a.m. Logged in at 9 p.m. and logged out at 3 a.m. Now I am trying to get the difference. End time minus start time. It is giving me nothing but an error. I'm just getting some hash error. I'm not able to get that proper value. Why did I get only this error? You need to understand this concept clearly. For each and every time, okay, Excel have a number associated to it. For example, let us assume we have 12 hours. Okay. Not 12. Okay. Let us have this 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. 12 midnight. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let us go till 11 p.m. Let us go till 13 hours, 23 hours. Yeah. Let us go till 23 hours. I am copying this and pasting it here. Okay. So I'm just I'm just taking a copy of all these cells and putting it in this column. Okay. Now I'll select this data. I'll click on Control 1. I'll select the data and press Control 1. Okay, no, don't do the Control 1. Okay, let me convert this to number. Now this is the proper time format. I am going to convert this to normal number format. The same values. I'll go here on the home tab itself. I'll go here, take the drop down and click on number. Let me add one more decimal to this. Okay, so that I'll understand this properly. Now I can understand that for each and every time values, there is a number associated to it. Okay, for 1 a.m. the number associated to is 0.042. For 2 p.m. the number is 0.583. For 7 p.m. number is 0.792. So like just like that, we have each and every time, even if we have maybe I'm just taking 1 hour and 21 minutes. Okay, 1 hour and 21 minutes. What is the number associated to this? I will convert this to number. 1 hour 21 minutes is 0.056. 1 a.m. is 0.042 and 121 is 0.056. Clear? So each and every time value have a number associated to it. Now let us understand this concept. What happened? Okay, if it is 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., what are the number associated to it? What is the number corresponding to 9 a.m.? Corresponding to 9 a.m. it is 0.35. Okay, 0.375. Number associated to 5 p.m. Number associated to 5 p.m. it's 0.708. Okay, 0.708. Let us subtract this value minus this value. What am I getting? I am getting 0.333, which is a positive value, and positive value doesn't have any problem in terms of time calculation. When it comes to time calculation, positive values is completely okay. Okay, but what is the case here? What is 9 p.m.? 9 p.m. is 0.875. 9 p.m. is 0.875. And what is 3 a.m.? 3 a.m. is 0.125. 0.125. Subtract this, I am getting minus 0.75. Here there will be a problem. Whenever we have a negative value in the time calculation, Excel will not support that. That is why I was getting an error here. There should be a solution for every problem, right? So here also there is a solution. Here also we have a solution. Okay. What is the solution here? I am going to add. One second. Just a second. Give me a moment. I'm taking another file. Okay, let me try this way. I don't know whether this will work or not. Okay, here what I'm trying to do is I'm going to put I'm going to change this formula to B2 plus 1 minus C2. Putting this in the bracket. No, don't put it in the bracket. Wait. Let us see if this is working or not. Okay, so I'm putting this in the I'm just putting a formula like this value plus 1 minus this value. Okay, enter. There is a problem here. I knew there is a problem. We have a solution also. I'm just thinking what is the solution. We have to put it in another function also. Wait. In this case, is equal to let us park it here. Okay, I think I need to tweak this a little bit. We'll definitely take the same thing on the first thing as the first topic in our next session. Okay, next session is on Monday. We'll definitely take the same thing. I'll save this file. We'll surely start with this. If I'm not starting with this, please remind me. Okay, please remind me if I'm not starting with this. Before that, by that time, I'll definitely find a solution to this. There is a solution. I am not able to, troubleshoot it at this point of time. That is why. From morning till evening, I have been lecturing. So my brain has stopped working, I think. So I'm not able to find that solution now. But definitely, I'll come with a solution. I'll explain you how to solve this also. Right? We'll definitely get the correct duration even in this also, and we'll get the total duration also calculated correctly. That we will do, right? But for the time being, let us stop it here. Till this point, is there any doubt? Is there any doubts in terms of time calculation? Till this point. Guys, I found a solution for that. Okay, somebody was asking me how to add data to the drop-down list. I'll show that also. How you write the range and attributes. Range and attributes of SUMIFS function from your previous example. Write the range and attributes of SUMIFS function from your previous example. Okay, that also I will show. So first I'll let us clear with this time function. Let us complete this. I've got this corrected. Okay. So the solution is like this. I'm putting an if function here. Okay. Inside the if function, I am checking if this value is less than this value. Okay. If this value is less than this value. In that case, if this value is less than this value, in that case, what should happen? I should get this value plus 1 minus this value. I'll explain this, don't worry. Okay, I'm just putting this formula. I'll explain what is happening, what will happen in this formula. Okay, don't worry about that. Now, if this is false, which means if this value is greater than this value, I just have to subtract C2 minus B2. Okay, press enter. I am getting 8 hours here and I am getting 6 hours here, and the total is also calculated correctly. Now, how did we get this? How did we get this? Let me take the notepad. Okay, I am putting the function here. How did we get this? If C2 less than B2, let us first understand this by taking this example first, 9 AM and 5 PM example first. Okay, what is the value in C2? We have 5 PM. What is 5 PM? What is 1 second? What is 5 PM? 5 PM is 0.708. Okay, so I am checking 0.708 is less than. I'm checking this. Okay, I'm checking whether 0.708 is less than what? What is 9 AM? 9 AM is 0.375. Okay, 0.708 is less than 0.375. I am checking whether this value is less than this value. Is that true? No, it is false. It is false. So what will happen in false? False means I'll get 0.708 minus 0.375. Okay, and I am getting the correct answer properly. It is a positive value. It is a positive value. So no problem. Okay. Now, when I'm talking about the 9 PM and 3 AM example, what is the value for 9 PM? 9 PM is 21 hours. 0.875. 0.875 is less than. I'm checking if 0.875 is less than 0.125. Less than 0.125. Guys, is this true? Yes, this is true. So what will happen if it is true? This function will execute. What is this function? C2 plus C2. What is C2 plus 1? What is C2? 0.125 is C2. Plus 1. What is plus 1 is equal to? It will give you 1.125. So this will be adding one more day to it. Okay, this will add one more day to it, 1.125. Now C2 plus 1 minus B2, which means 1.125 minus 0.875. Now will we get a positive value? Now will we get a positive value? Right? That is why I don't have a problem in this case. That is why I don't have any problem in my 9 PM 3 AM case, this case. Hope this is crystal clear to you. Why am I adding 1? To add one more day, because otherwise if we had done just 1.125 minus 875, I will be getting a negative value. So negative value, while time calculation, Excel will have problems. calculating, getting negative values while calculating time values, Excel will have problems. Clear, guys? And I don't want to unnecessarily add one day to these values. These values will work perfectly. That is why I'm wrapping the whole thing into an if function. Only if this value is less than this value, we need to consider all these things. Otherwise, we can calculate it as such, not a problem. That is why I have put it in the if function. Right. Now, one more doubt which somebody was asking, how do we add values to the drop down? I'll just quickly show it. Okay, I'm not going to spend time on it because I've already explained that, but since somebody have asked, I'll quickly show it. I'll open up the file. Okay, here I am going to add a data validation rules to these cells. I'll go to the data tab and I'll click on this data validation. Here I'll put list, and inside this source, click inside the source. Okay, click on this box. Then select these values from the master data. Just select these values from the master data and click on OK. That's all. Now we have got all the values which are there in the master data inside the drop down. How do you write the range and attributes of SUMIFS function? That also I will explain. Quickly I will explain. Okay, here I wanted to count how many times by cash, how many times this service of shaving was taken and was paid by cash. So here I will put count ifs. Okay, what is the first range which we need to search? We need to search this range first. Okay, comma, and this is the criteria to be checked. This is the criteria to be searched in this particular range. Okay, now I'll put a comma. Now I'll give the second range. What is the second range here? The payment, this column. Okay, this is my second range. Then I'll put the criteria here where I need to search for the value cash in this range. So only those rows where both the conditions are met will be counted. Coming to the SUMIFS function is equal to SUMIFS. SUMIFS function, the first parameter is the sum range. Unlike SUMIF function, the first parameter is the sum range. I will select the price because this is where I wanted to calculate the sum from. Okay, comma. What is the criteria? Now I need to give the criteria one by one. From where do we need to search for the first criteria? From this particular range. Comma. What is my first criteria? Shaving. Comma. What is my where is my second criteria range? I will select this range. I'll select this range, comma, this is my second criteria, and close the bracket and press enter. So these are the attributes. First one is the sum range, second one is the first criteria range, next one first criteria, then criteria range 2 and criteria 2. Like that it should go. Like that you can add many more criteria in SUMIFS function. That's clear to you now. Thank you so much. Time function is hard. Yes, it's bit to understand. It's bit hard, but you will have to use this functions.
I think so. We can wind up the session for today.
Yeah. Now next session is on Monday, right?
Yes, correct, sir. By 10 o'clock.
Yeah. So Monday 10 o'clock we'll meet again, guys. So please start practicing it. Do not stop practicing. Spend some time even tomorrow also. I know it's a Sunday, it's a weekend. It's time to enjoy, but also find some time to learn also. Fine. Okay. So have a great weekend. Let's meet on Monday again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, student, for today's session. We will meet you on Monday at 10 o'clock again. Thank you. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Okay.